So Danny, obviously a while since we spoke to you 2 or 3 months ago, and in that time a lot of the injured lads have recovered. You've had a few more to add to your list, unfortunately, so we'll go through them one by one again. First off, gonna just discuss the lads who have come back. We'll go with Anthony Mancini first. So he's been out a while. I think it was the end of August, and his season was near enough ruled out, but obviously following a plan. Can you just describe how he's getting on over recent weeks?
So Ant was injured when I first come into the club. I think obviously we touched on that in the last interview. He's been back since. We're doing a lot of monitoring of his workloads, so he's been kind of doing a phased return, hence why we've been subbing him and things like that. We're monitoring, obviously did a lot of pre-season testing, so we had kind of data of what he was capable of, and we've ran him to the max, and high speed running, sprint and distance and everything with that. So we're kind of just phasing up towards that. So for example, the game on Saturday, the plan was for 60 minutes. The problem we had on that game was at 58 minutes, I think the game opened wide up, and he had about 3 or 4 chances where he was bursting through. So then I'm straight onto the gaffer to sub him, and to be fair, the gaffer and Swins, everyone there all over it. That you got to look after the player first. I won't lie, I had a massive heart attack when he fell over. When the ground went from under him, and he stayed down for a couple of seconds. My heart sank into my stomach that time, but yeah, he got up. A game on Tuesday. The problem we had with the original plan, we didn't have the Fylde game in there, and then when it got cancelled and we had to rearrange it and it got put in that day, we kind of had an extra match day workload in there, so we agreed on 45 minutes, and then we'll tailor his training around that. So I think there's a few rumours of niggles and things like that. That was never the case. It was always a plan of only 45 minutes to keep him on track, really. So again, it'll be another a short game on Saturday. However many minutes, off the top of my head, we're looking probably similar to last week, maybe a little bit more, and then we'll have another week's turnaround with training, and then we're looking to increase it. You've got to think of it, he was out for a long time and he had a really serious hamstring injury, so we've had to almost kind of do another pre-season with him. So if you think of pre-season games, you will have a lot of games, the lads doing like sort of 45 minutes, half an hour's 20 minutes here and there. We've had to kind of phase that back in, but obviously phase him into the team and at a time when the team needs him.
Yeah, and how much work goes into the planning and scheduling with Anthony, especially when the injury was so sort of delicate on his hamstring?
Yeah, I mean, sort of I'll be in charge of the phase return into it. Obviously, working alongside Kieran, our spot scientist, working on workloads, progressing them towards that. Within training, I mean, obviously not a lot of people see it, but they're very meticulously planned training sessions. You wouldn't believe the amount of work that Swin's putting behind the scenes for tailoring out distances, amount of high speed loads, the sessions, everything with that. It's really meticulously planned. A lot of like unseen work goes into that, and I just kind of take that and I'll phase my progression back into that, so we're getting kind of a nice smooth build into it. Pretty much as we keep going, really.
Yeah, and good to see Luke Hendrie back out there. He's been out since I think the back end of October. 2 full games as well. How's he doing at the minute?
Yeah, great to see Hendrie get 2 90s under his belt. Worked really hard to get back. We had a setback. We got him to the point where we were running, and then he broke down again in the running. We had we had a scan that revealed a deep underlying injury that it had been apparent that it's been there for a long time. He'd been playing through it, which none of us knew about. So we've kind of had to put the brakes on his rehab. We'll start again, come back, touch wood, he's pain free, he's moving okay. I know he's been playing centre back, where he's more of an up and down. He'll cover a bit more distance when he goes to full back, depending on what the manager wants to do. But yeah, he's flying the train. He's worked really hard with pain free, and it's good to see, because he's put some graft in Hendrie, and he's not a type of player that's enjoying. Not that any player enjoys being injured, but he's been wanting to get back sooner rather than later. So it's great to see. But yeah, done really well. Nice to see. Hopefully, touch wood, we have no further issues with him and get the rest of the season into it.
Yeah, we'll move on to another player who's come back into the fold, Tom Crawford. Good to see him out there. Was out for a good few weeks. How's he doing?
Yeah, Crawford's doing well. We've got 2 90s into him this week. He's feeling a bit tired, which is understandable after a few weeks out. The problem we have with Crofts is he had a bad ankle injury last season. I think it was the Bournemouth game, one of my first games to come in, and he got kicked on it about 20 times on the same angle. He's one of them type of players that draws kicks in and people just sort of leave one on him all the time, and it's just unfortunate that he keeps getting fouled. And ironically, this one was where he's stood on the player's boot and like inverted his ankle, but because the boot's been higher, it's like rolling your ankle on a curb, if you can imagine it. So really bad sprain on that. The ankle's not well. He's training, he's doing everything, but he's got a really heavy strapping on there, and we're sort of playing through the pain. We're getting him back a bit earlier, just because he wants, and it's more on his decision as well, because he wants to get back for the team. But yeah, we're kind of phasing that strapping's out. He's trained, he's not missed a minute, he's doing well. He's running everything that we need to do, and he's hitting the numbers that we need him to hit. So long may it continue. And he scored on Saturday, so that was always good, and he owes me for that one. I'm having that goal. So yeah.
Yeah, and before we move on to the currently injured lads, we'll touch on the new signings. Tom Parks and Courtney Duff is coming in. Can you just explain from a medical point of view what you do there, and are both of them looking sharp and looking fit?
Yeah, so obviously any player that comes in, I'll have a chat with the previous club's physio, see, get a feel for the player, see what they like, what they don't like. It's always nice to sort of talk to the physio on their own as well, because the player will tell you how unbelievably fit they are now, how healthy they are now, they've had no issues, and then you speak to the physio and they're like, yeah, he was lazy or whatever. Fortunately in this case, Tom and Courtney have got glowing reviews from their physios. I know Tom's had previous long time out, but he's recovered from that. All I'd probably say on that is players will have injury histories. There'll be sort of famous players and non-famous players that have been out for a long period of time. He's been back playing. He played against Celtic, was it 10 days ago? So it says everything that where he's at injury wise. He got through the games okay, and against Hearts as well before he come here. He's looking good in training. He's a big strong guy. Literally just had a chat with him there, and he was fine with training. He did the 45 on Saturday, looked good, covered a lot of ground. I was laughing and joking with him about his 80-yard lung busting run that he did about 5 minutes into the game, which for a big tough centre back you don't normally see, but he was like, yeah, he was laughing, saying it was quite standard for him. So yeah, Tom's in good shape. Same with Courtney. Courtney's had a couple of injuries in the past, but he's back playing, back training, managing everything okay. Both look in good shape. Again, you can only take it for the player how they are. You take the medical history into account, but if they're back playing everything, you've got to give them a chance to play and get some games in, and hopefully they'll get that here.
Yeah, now we'll touch on the lads who are slightly struggling. You've been working closely with Callum Cooke over the last week, and just describe what his current situation is. Yeah,
so Cooke had the ankle injury, obviously. We brought him back, I think it was for the York game, was his first game, wasn't it? Brought him back a little bit sooner than we'd probably like to in an ideal scenario, but you've got to think of the results that we were getting, and Cooke's a really important player for us. So Cooke's been playing through the pain quite a lot in games. We've been managing him in training. To be fair, he hasn't missed a minute in training prior to everything, so he's done every minute. He's working hard. We're working on a lot of ankle strengthening with him, long term with him, but yeah, so he's getting the flare-ups on the left ankle, and obviously he had history with his right ankle as well. He took a bad fall, a bad roll against Oldham away, so that's irritated his right ankle now. So we're carrying little niggles with him. He's playing through it, but it's a lot of sort of pain medication, a lot of work with me pre and post training and after games as well. He's managing him to the point where he was really struggling to kind of walk at some times, but yeah, he's doing well. We'll get there in the end with Cookie. It's just kind of we've gone back that early, and we're all aware of that risk to getting back playing. But yeah, I think it's going to be an ongoing thing for the next couple of weeks, just until we can kind of get on top of that. The problem we've had is we've just had a busy Christmas period, heavy run of games. The games start to sort of peter out a little bit now. We've got plenty of breaks in there, so that in theory should help us give that a bit of extra time to let it settle and everything. But playing with heavy strappings again with the ankles, but we're looking to phase them out. But he's getting there, he's doing well, and again he's putting a lot of extra time in now, Cooke, and with him a lot of times in the gym after training everything to get that ankle stronger.
Yeah, and we'll move on to Manny D, of course, an injury during the second half at Wealdstone on the 23rd. Can you just describe what happened to him? And you've been out with them recently. I think you've done a bit of work, in the warm before Fylde. So how's he doing at the minute?
Yeah, so Manny D's injury typifies the luck that we've had with injuries. I like to think, touch wood, that we manage the little niggles. We don't really get muscular tweaks and things like that. We kind of manage the nitty gritty stuff really well. They're all tend to just be catastrophic injuries. With Manny, obviously he's left a leg hanging when he's going for a challenge, and then the defender's completely fell on the side of his leg, and it's tore the inside ligament on his knee. You can't account for that. You can put all the strength and everything in the world. You can't account for a 16-stone centre-back landing on your striker's leg from the side, and we just seem to get a big run of those. Every injury that we seem to get, it's not kind of thinking, hopefully it'll be a day or two. They're always like, this has happened, of course it's a catastrophic one, it's 6 weeks, and it's the joys of football. I'm sure every physio and every football team has them, but you just think, God, I can't wait for that big wheel to come round and give us a bit of luck, because we'll be laughing when we do, because we've had some bad luck lately. But yeah, man, he's doing well. I've ran him before Fylde. We've got some running into him. He's running straight line at the moment. I gave him a ball this morning and did some very, very light ball work with him just to get him dribbling again. Feeling it a little bit, but I'd expect that at this time. I think we're only kind of 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks post-injury, so you'd expect it. Said originally for 6 weeks for him, but we're trying our hardest to get that down. Manny himself's doing me, to be honest with you. He's ringing me, texting me, can I do this? He's dying to get back. He's got a lot of goals, and I think he's wanting to get back in and keep his momentum going. So yeah, hopefully. So I'm going to run him. I'll give him a ball again tomorrow. I'm going to run him again before the game against Hampton and Richmond on Saturday. So if you see him running, don't get too excited. He's just running with me. He won't be part of the team just yet. But yeah, we're looking at getting back sooner rather than later, because he's a massive player for us.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to Josh Amara. Of course, that one was a week later away to Oldham. Looked as though he went down with a bit of pain on his knee after taking a shot, so can you just describe what happened there and how he's currently managing that? Yeah,
Josh again, another unbelievable one. He's rolled the defender and turned to have a shot. Was complaining about his knee originally, and then when we've got him in, we've had a look. He's had an ankle injury as well. Again, you couldn't write it off. When you watch a shot, you won't believe the damage he's done off that one shot. So basically, Josh is tore his meniscus and the insides are tearing there. He's done his MCL. He's done a knee ligament, and then on his ankle, he's ruptured one of his ankle ligaments. And there's a syndesmosis injury as well, similar to what Alex Lacey had, but not as severe. I can't believe it off that shot, to be honest with you. I'm mortified that I always managed that. I'm actually at a consultant's this afternoon with him. I don't think we'll need surgery or anything like that, touch wood, hopefully. But I just wanted the consultant's opinion just to make sure that we're okay to manage it conservatively. We've had him just sort of strengthen the gym. Everything that we've needed to do rehab-wise anyway hasn't affected what we need to do that anyway, so it's just more of a check-in, more for my peace of mind, and just to make sure if there's anything else that we can do just to get him back. But yeah, off that shot you couldn't write it. And again, it goes back to the luck that we've had with injuries. You probably do that same shot 2,000 times in training and get up and walk off, but then that one time and then how to do all that, it's insane. But again, we'll be doing some luck soon and it'll come, hopefully.
Yeah, so what are the next steps for Josh? Is just based on what the consultants say? Is it, a case of you leading on that? Is it just working and seeing how it goes over the next few weeks? Yeah,
so obviously we'll check in with the consultant just to make sure everything that I'm doing is okay. I'm quite confident it is. We're still just working on strength and getting that pain down, because it's all with the knee's settling down okay, how we'd expect. Same with the ankle, it just takes a little bit more, because that syndesmosis is kind of like a webbing in between the two lower limb bones, and there's just a little sprain in there, so it's just a little, not a tear, but just a little tiny, like the fibres have sort of frayed there. So it's just kind of managing that. We can't load his ankle too much, so we can't get him doing sort of like heavy landings or anything just yet. So it's just working on strengthening, getting the ankle moving, setting the knee down, getting the pain down. He's doing all right. He's living on a bike at the moment, which he loves. Hammering the bike, keeping his fitness up basically, and then as soon as that pain level comes down, we can start stressing him a little bit more. I'm due to change his gym program up on Saturday, so we'll go through a new session with him on Saturday morning before the game in the gym, and then we'll just keep going from there. But yeah, he's doing well, hopefully. Like I say, I'm not too worried about the consultant's input today. I think it's just more of a, in case they want to do anything, do we use that window to do it, or yes, Danny, everything's okay, you can manage it conservatively, and then we can put a good timeline on it. But
yeah, and just moving on to Alex Lacey, of course, been injured for quite a few weeks now. Is there any real update on him? Yeah,
so Alex, again, the problem we had with Alex is was he had the heavy bone bruising. I think the consultant said he's never seen bone bruising like it, but it was just to the kind of borderline where we'd made like some kind of surgery or anything like that, and it just takes so long for bone bruising to calm down. It's so frustrating because it's okay, the structures and everything are healed in the ankle, it's just that bone bruising. But again, with the bone bruising and an ankle, we're trying to run, if somebody plants that foot and lands, it's the pain levels, and you've just kind of got to let it settle. So I've had him running in the pool twice a week at Teesside University, just to keep his fitness up, and with it being non-weight bearing in the pool, just to keep managing that. At the point now, so we're doing plyo, so he's jumping, landing, twisting, turning okay. I've had him on the track today. We've got just over 3.5 kilometres of running into him today, so we're just progressing that up a bit. Fitness wise, he's not too bad. The next few weeks he's got a lot of running to do, and that'll sort of get him back up to speed. Just gone through it with him there. I'm aiming to give him a ball, not this week, so it's Thursday today, not Monday, coming the Monday after, to start dribbling, some light passing work and things like that. Look to then do some ball agility drills with me, and then look to maybe phase him into sort of part-time training the week after. So he's not far away, he's doing well. It's just nice to be able to finally do something with him, because like I say, that bone bruising was horrific and it just took so long to settle. But yeah, getting there.
Yeah, and then Dan Dodds, of course, injured at the back end of August, to him to failed, an ACL injury. Season, over pretty much. With that, can you just describe how he's currently doing, how he's managing it, and how his progress is going? Of course, he is in pretty much every day. He is working really hard. So just an update on him.
Yeah, so Dodds is in every day. Is basically where we'd expect him to be at this time. We had a check-up appointment with a consultant that did his surgery. Consultant's over the moon with him. Very happy with the stage that we're at with his strength. The ironic thing about it is the knees had surgery on's actually now stronger. The ligament's stronger than what his uninjured knee is, which is quite funny. Just been basically working hard on his hamstring and quad strength, building that back up. We lost a bit of quad size, and he had the surgery from his quad tendon, so it's just been building that back up really. Doing well. I've got him sort of light skipping motions, plyometric movements and stuff. He's doing well with that. I'm looking to aim to run him back end of this month. Everything's really happy. If you see him, he'll tell you how massive his quad's getting. We'll keep measuring it, and it's getting bigger all the time. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's a great lad around the place, Dodds. He's a really upbeat guy. I've known him from here and obviously my previous club. Really upbeat, really positive, works hard, wants to do everything. Can't wait to get back. Long term with a plan with him, we are looking. I don't think you're not going to see him this season, unfortunately. And he's killed my summer holidays, because I'll be in every day with him over the summer, with a view that when the lads come back to pre-season, that we can kind of phase him back into some kind of team training, even if it's sort of part of the training part with me. But I'll be hammering the ball work drills and the agility drills outside with me all summer. Return to play, I always say so he had his surgery in October, so I would say October at the latest, but who knows. We have little markers where we want to hit them before we progress him on to things, so it's them. We can shave a bit of weeks off. I mean, they say some people will come back in 7 months, some people come back in 9, some people come back in 10, everything with that. I always say just to be safe, and then anything that we get is extra is better. So, but the view is to, when the lads come out of pre-season, having around the lads doing the ball work, the passing and stuff, because they'd only be doing ball work with me. So if you do like passing drills with the lads, happy days. But yeah, it's getting there everywhere we want it to be. Really happy with them.
Yeah, and just finally, you know, Christmas period now done and dusted. Obviously, a lot of games played. It can take a lot out of the players. So just on a final note, you know, especially with the failed game as well, another midweek game added to that. Is everyone, you know, all fit and healthy after coming through them games?
Yeah, again, like, I touched on it earlier, sort of all the plans and workloads are managed very, very monitored very tightly with Kieran Swains and myself. Obviously, my biggest risk is we play a lot of games in the short space of time. Lads are tired, so they're more prone to injury, more susceptible to injury. I like to think we got through it okay. I know we had Manny and Josh injured, but I don't think that was anything to do with what we've done as staff, or they're just unfortunate catastrophic injuries. I think you can't plan for those. You can't prepare for those. They're just unfortunate things that happen in football. So yeah, we got through it okay. Got a few lads back. There was I think it was the game against Oxford on Saturday. I think I had 5 of me sort of long termers back. There was Hendrie, Crawford, Anthony. So I was very worried with that, very happy. I drank a nice big glass of wine and that when they all got through that. So yeah, we're getting there. It's coming at the back end of the sort of the business end of the season. Luckily on the fixture list there's not too many Saturdays left, so there's time in between games for us to manage it. But yeah, we're all on it. Christmas period's busy for everyone. You look at some of the top clubs and they're crying out. Look at Newcastle, you know, they're just getting injuries left, right and centre. So I like to think that we're doing okay. My list on my physio wall's not too long. And again, Dodds is one of them, a long term. The rest we're getting back. So fingers crossed, we can get everyone back sooner or later and start climbing that league again.